We're here with Jack, and you did Five Easy Feathers and comedy animation. So, how did you get into doing comedy animation?
Well, first of all, I want to say that Five Easy Feathers is an episode of a larger series. So it's an episodic series from season 2. The first season won lots of awards, but it was during the pandemic. So unfortunately, all the festivals went virtual.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have to do season 2 because I was so excited, for the cocktail parties, for like the travel.
Yeah.
But
finally back. We're finally all back to all that. It's great.
I know, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing because I really felt like I missed the boat. And what the thing about Five Easy Feathers as an episode, it's kind of a bottle episode that kind of stands alone, kind of outside the arc of the rest of the series. So you don't need as much context to watch this episode as you do the other ones. But how I got into it's actually funny. So I was going to art school in San Francisco. I was going to film school. And one of the assignments was, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to have a screenwriting competition for all the students. The best 3 get produced. And then everyone who lost, they had to be on the crew of like the projects.
Wow.
And mine won. And the original kind of concept was, it was actually, this is kind of freaky, but it was very kind of like John Waters-y, but it was going to be actually live action birds.
I love John Waters. I got to meet him one day. He's awesome.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Were you in Baltimore? Were you in his element?
I was in Baltimore for the Hairspray premiere of the musical.
Wow.
And they were the kids were there in the movie, but the adults weren't. Which is, I have a whole other story with John Travolta I talked about later, but I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, I see, like, I'm there and there's all these different screenings. The whole theater had all screenings. I see an old man sitting on a bench by himself. And I'm like, that's John Waters. So I went and I sat next to him like, so we just had a conversation for the longest time. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
That was a long time.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So my screenplay was chosen, and like my roots is writing. And the good thing about going to film school is I learned about what I'm not good at, and that therefore I was able to delegate because I'm so bad at holding a camera. Like cinematography, I know when it's good. I don't know how to do it. Sound recording, whatever. Yeah. So I had like the command of like a third of the class. And it was going to be like, people walking around. And I just had this idea of like a peacock in Brooklyn, just a juxtaposition of colors with, like the brutalism of like New York City. And I thought it'd be cool, because like, he'd get like catcalled and like made fun of, whatever. So I had like my team, my classmates. I was trying to explain them the concept. And they just didn't get my sense of humor. Mm-hmm. Also, I was an undergrad. I was in this class when I was 27 years old. All these they were all kids, right? Mm-hmm. So like there was definitely just like a disconnect of what I was trying to like say. That also like they were international students, so there's like a language barrier. So I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it by myself." So I fired all of my classmates off the job.
Wow.
I casted in LA. I got a sound department in San Francisco, and then I raised enough money to commission an animation studio in the Philippines because I was like, animation, it's such a controlled environment. You don't have to deal with so many different elements of a live action film. And now I think it's actually kind of done me a disservice because now I'm kind of scared to get back into the live action pool. I'm like, I'm so traumatized, but animation has been such a blast, and I've learned so much through the process. So that's how it kind of evolved. And then once, I finished my thesis, my angel investor said, "Jack, so are we going to do another season of this?" Yes. I was like, okay. So we did season 2, and Five Easy Feathers is part of season 2. And we finished season 2, and my angel investor said, "Okay, so what about season 3?" And now we're in production of season 3. I just got the storyboard and the animatics for season 3. So I have to have like a whole, production meeting after that. So it's exciting. So now I have, because it's 6 by 10 episodes. So each season has 6 episodes. They're all 10 minutes. So I can really chop them up differently. I could have 6 by 10. I could have 3 by 20. I could have 2 by 30. Or I could have just a whole feature film of the whole season put together. And now I have 2 seasons on the books now. So I could have a 2-hour, and in a few months, I'll have 3 hours worth of content. So it'd be great if a distribution company like buys it and picks it up. But actually at this point, I just want this to be as kind of, a concept project to prove that I can get shit done.
Yeah.
And I guess my ultimate dream is, I mean, unless Netflix or Adult Swim wants to buy my stuff.
I was
think
gonna
my
say
ultimate
that could
dream-
work too, right? That could work.
I think like sci-fi could do it, honestly. But I think my ultimate dream would be in a writer's room and work for some sitcom.
Yeah.
That would be great. Yeah, sorry, that's a lot.
That's cool though. How the animation's pretty cool. So you said you got that. Where was that again?
I was learning as I was going. So
Yep.
I think that's like the really only way to learn, especially as a producer, like rendering and how to do it. Like it's not as important as the language of what you're asking for, especially since like the animation studios in the Philippines, there's already that language barrier. So like there's a time zone issue. As I live in New Jersey right now, my cast and my sound department, they're in California. So unfortunately, I'm the only one who's going to represent my project. I'm sorry to tell you that. But if there's anything additional I could do promotionally for your film festival, let me know. If there's anything I could share on social media,
this once I get this out, you can do that. I'll try to.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I kind of do this to help out a little bit, just to get people interested and go. So
how often do you put these on?
It's been a while, so it kind of it's summer, so I do have more time.
Yeah, but how often are the festival? Is it just like
twice a year? Twice a year.
Twice a year. Oh yeah, keep posting. Because like I said, I have like so much more of these episodes that I would love to put your way.
Yeah. So we had started out. I think when did we start it? I forget if we started in the summer or like in March, and then we did really well. And there's something that happened. I wanted to change it to a different time because I had another festival. So I said, can we do it in 6 months from now? And then that will be like our second year, and then go for another year. And then Tommy, the owner, is like, just do it twice. So like, all right. So we split it up and do it twice. And we have a lot of films. So and
how many submissions do you get typically?
Quite a bit. But since we do it, it's every like 5-6 months. So it's not as much as like our yearly festivals. We get like 1,000 or so, or like 800, whatever it is.
That's pretty good, yeah.
And then
you gotta crank up that submission fee, man.
I know, right?
Also, is there any merch for this?
We, for the first time ever, we never had merch for it because but we are selling some shirts. I'm getting shirts made, and we're selling shirts there. So I have about 40 shirts just to test that the water's out.
Can you post on that? Because I would love to get one.
Yeah, and it's a good shirt too, good quality. So we're not making any money on it because it's not cheap to make these shirts. Holy crap! So I'm can we make a little money? No, we're not really making any money on it.
Yeah, just like the screen printing, like the fabric. It's
unbelievable. But they're good shirts. And I'm like, I want good quality. I don't want crap, because like I love t-shirts. I'm a t-shirt guy, and when they shrink, I get pissed off.
Yeah, or like the graphic is like it's like ironed on. It's gonna come off.
Yeah.
In the laundry.
Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, where I got these, I got shirts 15 years ago that I still wear, and they haven't shrunk, and nothing came off, and that was 15 years ago. So it's the same place. So nice. I'm like, maybe we'll see how it goes. And then if I sell out of those, and then I have the print, I could just make more then. But we have it's a special 10-year anniversary shirt. So But so it's a lot of fun. It's a festival that so many filmmakers come, and they drink and have fun and eat. So it's just hard to stop doing it.
Of course. Yeah. So, no, that's what I'm there for. Also, there's a jury. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a jury that's in attendance, and like there's like nominations and prizes. Or
we have tons of nominations and awards. See,
the nominations for this one have already been released, right?
Yeah. Well, there's other awards though too, because there's some that just don't fall in the categories and stuff all the time. So we have. I have extra animation. So basically, there's only a couple animations, you're probably going to win.
That's awesome. That's exciting. Yeah, no, I think I'm the 11 a.m. slot on Sunday. So
it's
either bright and early.
Oh, yeah.
Bloody Mary and crawl under the table as I'm like, oh no, watching my films. You know how it is.
So it's hard to fit all these films in too and get them all together, and you know what? But I did it, and I was like, I'm done. I got it. I did the schedule, whatever. It's all over the place.
Like you gotta do the sound check. You gotta splice.
So that's why I get two people doing it. So I do all the prep work stuff, and then Chris, the other guy, he is gonna get the films, gonna put them together. And this time though, I did the reunion films, and I just downloaded them, but I have to give it to him still. So,
Okay.
it's a lot of work for two people. And last time I had to do it by he did all the tech work and then left. But it's
a ton of pressure. And like I said, I founded a film festival that's similar to what you're doing in San Francisco at the Roxy Theater. And
cool.
Sometimes filmmakers, they expect so much out of this. They have different perspectives of a lot of like high-end festivals.
Yeah.
A lot of different stuff. Like some people be like, where's my goodie bag? And I'm like, dude.
Yeah, I tell people this is a bar.
Yeah,
exactly. You'll hear people
manage their expectations.
You might hear people in the bar screaming every once in a blue moon, or like the dishes going. So I tell people, just relax. It's a bar. It's here. We're here to have fun, watch the films, and eat and drink and meet and talk. Because so many people. This is what I'm proud of the most of this fest. Is so many people meet and make movies together and come back years later as a bigger group and show their films, and that's the point.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, and since I'm in season 3 right now in production, I need voice actors, so I'm excited to schmooze with some people. And
right here, not trying to I would love to get into that one day, because I do a lot of voices, a lot of podcasting, and
there's plenty of room at my table. Well, are you union? I
am a SAG, yes.
Okay, but is that different from voice acting?
Yeah, no, SAG is
it's all
SAG is the same. I could do the voice acting, yeah. So we go to a lot of cons and podcasts, and we talk to all these voice actors and know a bunch of them all over the country. So they're SAG actors. I mean, there's one guy I interviewed who was in Dazed and Confused as the beer guy, and he's like a real famous voice actor.
The beer guy?
Yeah, he brings the kegs
and like the parents don't go back out for vacation. That's such a small role.
John Swayze's his name, so that was his role. That was his thing.
That is a fun fact. I'm sure he tells that at parties.
And then he randomly just like he's in Houston and he does like every single that new animation with the kids like.
Like anime.
So he does like the voiceover for the anime, or like all the like One Piece or whatever it's called. Yeah. His name's on every single one of them, and he just randomly went to an audition for voiceover, and he bombed it, left, came back, said, I messed up, can I do it again, do this? And they let him do it again, and he did it, and
wow,
that's it. That's what he does.
Yeah, I was working at a post house in LA. We edited trailers for movies, but they were huge movies like John Wick and type of shit. But sometimes the editors would ask me for scratch dialogue, just as like a placeholder for when Scarlett Johansson can like just do it. And I really love doing it. So hopefully maybe one day I'll get involved with that. But in the meantime, I'm producing and writing. It's not in the cards. I think it's a conflict of interest to cast myself, so I never do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cool. So what else is any other festivals coming up after this one, or?
There's one in Atlanta called BBR. And it's pretty low key. Yeah. I've been waiting to hear back from a lot of festivals. Since I've been writing, since I was in development of season 3, I was like, I kind of put the festival circuit on the back burner. Also, I had to raise a budget for some of these film festivals.
Yeah, it gets up there.
Yours is really the only one that's around the corner. So
yeah,
I'm excited to make a splash, man.
And are there any animation film festivals with just purely animation or categories? At least categories.
Yeah, of course. There's some that are animation, but some of the eligibility is so specific.
Yeah,
like some of them are like Samoan Trans Festival about. About documentaries about like volcanoes. It's like I don't fit in that. So I really have to like filter Film Freeway to find like what I'm even allowed to do. I guess what I have going for me is, like I told you, I could really cut up my seasons into different formats and different durations. And also it's good that my animation department's in the Philippines, because that makes me eligible for like that enormous country that has like thousands of islands. Also, my cast is in LA. My sound department's in San Francisco. So that's the good news. So it's just been like a lot of work for me to just navigate like the Film Freeway this time around.
Yeah.
But if you know anything, let me know.
Absolutely. Yeah. I used to be better at it. Now I'm not as good anymore. But
yeah, no, it's hard. Also because at first, because I told you this is all my episodes are part of the same series, and the series is called Trouble in Paradise. So I was listing my titles on Film Freeway as Trouble in Paradise dash then the episode name. So I think that kind of might have been confusing for some of like the screeners, because they might have thought they were dupes. Because there's only like a certain amount you can of text you can see in some submissions.
Yeah,
that's when I kind of tore down everything from Film Freeway, and I just named each episode by their actual name of the episode.
Cool.
So that way it wouldn't confuse them. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, is there any way, anything out there that people can reach you at? And
yeah, do you want me to drop it in the chat, or I could email you? Also, I could just speak it out. Oh yeah, because you're going to publish this. All right, it's
you put it below. We'll put it below too.
Okay, cool. So my Instagram is TEH_coolest, like to coolest. And then you can reach me on Facebook, Jack Fanburg, JACKFANBURG, and same with LinkedIn.
Cool. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, well,
how many more interviews you got?
Today, not so many. I'm almost going to break for lunch and then see what happens later. But throughout this whole week, it is summer. I have time to do some, but then all of a sudden something comes up. Like even the other day, someone's like, "Yeah, let's go here." I'm like, "All right, yeah." So, but something just came up for Tuesday, and
we're in the dog days of summer now. Everyone's trying to like get everything out of the way that they thought they were going to do.
Yeah. So it's it is what it is. But I'm a teacher, so I have summers off. So
where do you teach?
Middletown North High School. I teach film.
Okay, that's pretty. I'm a substitute teacher sometimes.
In Jersey City?
It's a nightmare. There's this app called Scoot, SCOOT, and it's kind of like the Uber for substitutes. It's an app, and as long as you have enough like experience working with kids or good enough SAT scores, you're eligible to be a Scoot member. And every morning, like you'll get an offer, and you can take it or not take it.
Absolutely.
So sometimes I do that, and
yeah,
I know how much work teachers do. So thank you for your service.
It's exciting though to teach film. So I taught history a long time ago, and this is my 8th year teaching film. So I'm really excited about it. And I was just in LA for student Dances with Films. They have a high school student section, so we were there. And
that's awesome. I've heard of Dances with Films. Have you heard of it's called the 48-hour or the 24-hour film festival challenge?
They have one there too.
Yeah, or 48-hour. Yeah, like in LA, everyone you get a crew, and from development to post-production, it has to take 24 hours. So it's like a relay race, and like you're dropping off memory cards to your editors and be like, okay, get it done. So no, LA has a great, obviously, film culture.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love going out there to visit every so often. So
yeah, I was working in Culver City when I was doing it at that post house. It was fun.
Cool. Yeah, I just spent about a week out there, and I just I loved it. So, but I'll be back next. At least once a year. That's my new goal. Once a year, go out there.
Yeah, that's a healthy time to spend in LA. You don't want to spend too much time out there.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Still, transitioning back to my East Coast roots. Sometimes I'll wear a shirt out in New Jersey. They'll be like, people will clown on me, like, why are you wearing that? I'll be like, oh, it was from like a swap meet in Silver Lake. And they'll be like, Jack, you have lost your roots. No, but that's great.
Yeah, well, thanks for giving me a few minutes here, and I guess we'll see you at the fest.
No problem. It's nice to meet you. Thanks again.
Thanks.